Hi, thank you so much for joining us for Tales of Eldura Session 5. If you are joining us on Twitch tonight, thank you. If you are joining us later on YouTube, hello and thank you for that as well. So during our game this evening, we will be doing a duet adaptation of Descent into Avernus. And, well, Gareth, would you like to, I guess in a second, Gareth will kind of let us know what it is that we're doing. But just in case you don't know who we are, I'm Beth. This is Jonathan, and together we run D&D Duet. So you can find our blog post and everything on dndduet.com.
Tonight's session is brought to you by Buried Heroes, Beth's new book. Buried Heroes tells the story of a world of high fantasy, magic, and nature that teeters on the brink between light and darkness. Ancient forces awaken, and new heroes rise to the occasion. But this time, can they prevail? Find out in this exciting first-in-series novel packed with druids, pirates, werewolves, and more. You can purchase Buried Heroes wherever books are sold or at bethballbooks.com.
Thank you. We also wanted to send out a special thank you to all of our patrons. You guys make what we do possible, and we appreciate it so very much. The encouragement and the interaction and kind of letting us know what it is that you're wanting to see more of. We certainly wouldn't be doing a stream if it hadn't been through dialogue with you all that you wanted more video content. And so here we all are. So if you want to support us on Patreon, you can find us at patreon.com/GroveGuardianPress. And while we're talking about the things, if you want to help us out, we would love for you to like and subscribe below if you're watching on YouTube, or to follow us on Twitch. Is it follow on Twitch? Is that the thing?
I think so. Maybe subscribe. Or yeah.
The magical box. If you want to click it, thank you.
Are Twitch streaming experts, so we know all the lingo, and we're just real pros at it. Do you want me to do my Gareth intro?
Yes, please.
I'm Gareth Stosdak, a simple man, a blacksmith, in the mean streets, or in the mean city, really, of Respite. I have my own forge. I'm not a gutter rat or anything, but my life has recently begotten much more complicated than it was. Through a crazy few days, I have been foisted into a life of adventure, it seems. I recently discovered that the city that my son dwells in and serves the army in has suddenly mysteriously vanished, disappearing from the face of Eldura. A great number of refugees have sought protection and safety behind Respite's city walls, only to find themselves preyed on by a nefarious collective of real jerks. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with them, but to that end, I'm making my way to the outer ring of the city, to a place called Kleodna's Bounty, wherein I suspect I will find some more answers. I've got with me new friends in the form of Evelyn Ryder, a fey woman of natural magic disposition, and an individual from the Witchwood named Tessina, who is traveling along with us and helping us out. She had seen what catastrophe befell Beacon, and has heretofore been both very helpful and also one of the early people to let me know
of what might have happened to my son. Patrick.
Thank you, Gareth. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we get started?
I don't think so.
Okay. So when we left off, you all had returned to, I'm going to take us to Eldura's map. When we left off, you all had kind of spent the night following a very exciting day through morning. And I guess you spent most of the day at your forge, kind of recuperating. I believe we were in the PM when we left off. Is that right?
I think so. It was like late afternoon, I think, when we were starting to make our way from Gareth's forge to Kleodna's bounty.
Cool.
And this place is associated, right, with the bad lady, Eliza Seymour, whose
So what
person is like kind of like operating out of Kleodna's bounty, like making deals or like money's going through.
So the tavern is not associated with Eliza Seymour, who is the head noble representative of the Consulate of Nobles in the city of Respite. However, her chief financial advisor is known to operate a lending business kind of on the side in the lower part of this ship turned tavern. And so he helps out the tavern owner. She allows him the space. And so that's kind of how they reconcile those two things. But the tavern is itself separate from what she's doing. Unlike the bathhouse, as you called it, the murder dungeon beneath the bathhouse, it is a place that she owns.
And I think that we discussed a plan of like kind of going in, identifying this fool Amrick, and perhaps trying to talk him into speaking with us in private for like a potential business opportunity, and then we were gonna grill him.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to do before you go to Kleodna's bounty?
I've got 500 gold almost now, and so of course that's immediately burning a hole in my pocket.
Okay.
There's some things that I'd like to pick up kind of along the way. I would like to pick up a pair of platinum like bangles.
Okay.
And I would like to I have some ball bearings, but I don't think I have enough ball bearings.
Okay.
I thought I had ball bearings. Okay, so I want to get some ball bearings, and I'm going to use those because my when I do my Channel Divinity Forge thing, I have to have metal, and so I thought that like having a couple of bags of ball bearings might help with that. I don't think that I need as much metal as would be required to actually make the thing, or else I just make it, right? But I think I have to have some metal. And then finally, I've got a cool spell that I want to have access to, but I need some components for it for augury. So I'm thinking about like, can I find some like magnesium shards or something that I could like throw in the fire and then like divine information through that.
Okay.
It calls for like dragon bones or tarot cards or something like that, but I thought just kind of keeping with Gareth's forge theme.
Yeah, I think that sounds awesome. You do have a little friend with you who probably has some dragon bones and maybe even some tarot cards on her person. If you wanted to ask after that.
Yeah, as we walk, I think Gareth is probably looking at her sideways and thinking about if this person has dragon bones on them.
Does she notice you looking at her?
I don't know, DM, does she? I'm not doing it sneakily.
I know. She doesn't. She's just looking at the city. So yeah, simple enough. You go and I think you can find all of those things pretty easily. The platinum bangles, are you trying to get the money that you have turned into pieces of platinum or like exchange it for platinum or just to purchase some platinum bangles?
I don't know how Gareth... Like, I'm sure that Gareth would have like a line on somebody who could sell him some platinum bangles. But I need 2 of them that are worth at least 50 gold for the spell that I want to use them for.
Each or total?
50 gold each.
Okay. Cool. Roll a general charisma check for me.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, maybe I could rely on my guildies. Let me say, general charisma. General charisma? Let me roll that where it's not. Wow. So I got a 2. First roll of the night.
Oh, wait. Sorry, it was the totally wrong thing. Oh no! You rolled a 1.
I'm just really flustered as I'm going around looking for...
So it seems.
I need,
Christina's just watching you like, what are you doing? Evelyn is not helping.
There's something I'll figure it out later.
All right, young sir. And they just kind of send you on your way. Sure. So let's see. That's 100 gold for your bangles. I don't know, like 3 silver for ball bearings. I guess it depends on how many you want. And the magnesium shards, are those for a certain amount?
I don't think it calls for a specific like value.
Okay. I'm going to say 15 gold for your magnesium shards.
Okay.
You get ripped off a little bit. Gareth, I don't think that she was really a fortune teller.
How can you tell? Do you fortune tellers have a guild?
Why would we have a guild? What do the guilds do?
Oh, the guilds are great. If you have a guild, then you work together and you can set prices for your services. And then that way, if you all kind of stick together, you're more powerful than if you just are plying your trade willy-nilly without any kind of representation or anything else. It's good for everyone.
Do we have a flag?
I think you would certainly need a flag, especially to participate in the guild games.
Well, no one even said anything about the guild games. Well, no, I could tell that she was pretend because the bones in her hair and her braids were from a bird, not from a dragon. So
What? Are these magnesium shards even going to tell me the future?
I'll ask them and find out.
I hold out my hand with flakes of magnesium in it.
These seem pretty promising to me. I just don't think that she can tell you the future, is what I'm saying. She might have overcharged you a little.
Well,
but that's okay. You have so many accessories today. Are you trying to trip someone with the ball bearing?
It may come to that, but I think that I will be able to. I have a gift when it comes to metal.
Is this why you run a forge?
Exactly.
Makes sense to me.
I just looked up what magnesium looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is... Oh, this is a picture of avocado toast. I was like, wow, magnesium looks like avocado toast. Okay, now I know what magnesium looks like.
Okay. I have some magnesium shards and some avocado toast, if they have that in respite. Are you ready to continue on? Is there anywhere else you would like to go?
I would like to. No, I think that's it. Actually, I think the picking up a few things on the way, and then kind of walking down and getting ready to talk to this Amrick fellow is all I have on my agenda.
Okay. Perfect. Give me 1 second to where you can see what's going on. Hey. Actually, sorry, I picked the wrong thing. So,
Oh, I love Tessina's token.
thank you.
She hadn't had a
Isn't it
token
cute?
before. It is cute.
Yeah. Pretty pleased with it. I don't have it set up with her stats yet, but we can figure that out later.
Cool, and I can move her.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask one favor?
Yeah.
Do you think that you could make it to where Evelyn's nameplate shows up, like Gareth and Tessina's does?
It doesn't show up for you?
No.
I'm going to make it to where you can control you, and let's see if that fixes it, because I have it set to show the nameplate.
Hey, I can see it.
And you should be able, can you move her around?
I can move her back and forth.
Okay.
To.
All right, so it was just showing the nameplate to me. Got you. Okay. Cool. So there's our whole little party. Exciting. So you, Evelyn guides you through the tavern district, and she's kind of eyes narrowed, straight ahead, move through crowds of people type of traveler. So it's late in the, or it's not late in the evening, it's early in the evening. This area is starting to kind of swell with the evening's patrons after a hard day's work and respite. You have lots of people coming from the middle ring of the city out to the tavern district. And suddenly, or not suddenly, but sticking out of the street is a ship that's surrounded by fog. Tall masts and creaking bulk come into view. The converted ship has rigging but no sails and is anchored by thick chains to the ground. A wooden staircase climbs from the wharf's edge to the main deck. A lantern at the bow casts an eerie green light to signify that the tavern is open for business. And strangely enough, you can hear the seaside, even though you are far enough from the river that, or not the river, but the water outside of Respite, that you really shouldn't be able to hear it. But you even hear the creaking of sails.
So cool. I think I would observe. I guess they wanted to make sure it didn't go anywhere.
I think you're right, Gareth. Though what pretend water it's on, I don't understand. But I mean, as long as it's not over top of a creepy dungeon, right?
That's right. Let's hope that was it. It's made me really question going to the bathhouse ever again.
I mean, who knows what else could be down there? So, what is our cover? Do you want to take the lead for this?
Yes, I'm not terrific at misrepresenting truth. Lying, some people would call it, but I will say that I will inquire on behalf of the Guild of the Glove for a loan to cover this difficulty with the City Watch.
All right.
And I will try to get him to talk to us by ourselves. And perhaps you all will be my business associates. And if I have to change tactics, then just keep up.
Yeah. I can be your bodyguard if you need it.
And Tessina will be my numbers person.
Very good with the numbers, so that sounds great.
You look like an accountant.
Tessina does not look like an accountant.
I didn't think she did.
You and Evelyn both nod very convincingly, and she stands up just a little bit taller, just in case.
I imagine with the dragon bones in her hair and her eclectic witchwood garb, she probably didn't look like an accountant.
Yeah, she doesn't super look like an accountant, but she does kind of swagger up onto the deck. So with like super high knees, just in case.
Nice. As we go, I would like to be
Mm-hmm.
clocking if we see any. I'm like looking for security and anticipating like secret security, kind of like I think Amrick probably has his own people, and
Okay,
so anything of interest in that regard as we approach.
let's take you guys up here. Sure. So will you roll just a general perception check for me, but roll with advantage because Evelyn and Tessina are helping you.
20.
Lovely. Okay, I'll be sure to kind of give you an idea of what you see and who you see as you go. So you guys climb the steps onto the main deck of the ship. And so as you climb up the steps that lead up from the street, there are two sets of stairs that lead to the fore and aft decks on the ship. A padlocked wooden hatch fitted with windows acts as a skylight for the deck below. So if you were to see, like, Gareth, look over here, and she's kind of peering down into the tavern.
Does she like see patrons and stuff in there?
Yes, she does.
Do I see anybody
So
obviously evil?
I think it's hard to tell from far above. You see you see a Kenku bartender. You do see some people in like white, I guess they're in linen shirts and then kind of a brown apron type of thing with hands crossed. You see a few of them who seem to be matching in terms of their garb. You might assume that they are the security for the tavern itself.
Okay.
And you see some just kind of general assortment of patrons. Also of note, just in case, 4 dead seagulls lie on the deck, and 2 ravens squawk at you from the crow's nest. A 40-foot climb up the ship's rigging.
4 dead seagulls?
Mm-hmm.
And 2 ravens?
Yeah.
Can I tell what the seagulls died of?
Roll a medicine check.
I kind of nudge one with my foot. I wonder what's going on here. Seagulls are rather hardy. Looks like a dead bird to me. I rolled a 5.
Okay. Evelyn is going to help you. And she kind of scoops one up.
Don't touch that thing. It's covered in vermin.
It is vermin. Kind of. This guy, I suppose. It was stung to death. She shows you a spot on its back where all its little feathers have been burned away.
Gross. So I don't know. I mean, because Gareth, I'm afraid of like bleeding some player outside knowledge. Would Gareth think about the, because the imp that we talked to earlier had like a scorpion tail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like flew around and stuff. Like looking around, do I see any imps or anything? I know they like to be invisible, as did the one that we talked to.
Do you look up?
I certainly do.
You see 2 very intelligent looking ravens staring back at you, beady eyes.
I mentioned to Evelyn, yeah, I think we're being watched. I kind of give them a wave.
It makes that gurgly sound like the raven that lives behind our house, but I can't do it on command. Turkey sound. Yeah, she kind of stares up at the ravens. Tessina is very worried about the seagulls. Do you guys go down inside?
Yes. I'm wondering why. I guess I would just ask Evelyn as we kind of go inside. Why would the ravens kill the seagulls? Just malice? It's not like they ate them.
Is what you're trying to tell me that you think the ravens are imps?
Yes. Much like the
and
one that
I
dragged
might
you out of
guess-
the bathhouse.
Yes. It stung me too, so I might guess malice. They're not happy creatures by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just reveal this whole second area of the ship. Sorry, so you'll notice too, on the two taller decks, there are some tables set out, but it's not quite crowded enough to where people are, or dark enough yet to where people are sitting out on the deck, but that is an option. You see that the bartender does, they do have some tables set out here and here on the kind of on the two tallest decks on the ship, should anyone be interested. And I'm gonna hide the stuff that you can't see.
The art on these tokens is cool.
Right? Let me get zoomed in so I can see what you guys see a little bit better. Sorry. Okay. So you guys descend the stairs down into the tavern. And so you see a wide array of people. And so if you want to go see someone or talk to them, you can. It's kind of crowded down here. You do see the Kenku bartender. And as you had suspected from before, you see a couple. Let's see this guy here. So at three kind of the main touch points inside the tavern by two of the windows and in front of one door, you see the thuggish guards kind of glaring out and keeping an eye on things. Though you would guess that they don't really plan to be involved unless something goes terribly wrong. It's not unusual in Respite for businesses, especially at night during this time of war, for business owners to hire private security or to have a deal with a security firm or even the city watch. Would you roll a perception check to kind of see who all you see?
Another one. 20 again.
Right, so your first perception check was to have an eye out for the
guards and
two
stuff.
people,
Gotcha.
right? Yeah, so I'm going to keep telling you when you see them, since that's what you're looking for them specifically. So around the tavern, you see a kind of cranky-looking, gray-skinned dwarf. You see a couple men kind of drinking alone at tables, and you see these two very cute gray-skinned elves with glasses kind of talking with one another and looking wide-eyed around the tavern. And this woman in a large pirate's cap with a giant feather kind of saunters up to the three of you. Well met. My name is Lorella. I'm so glad that you've come to my tavern this evening. Who might you be? She extends her hand for a kiss.
I think Gareth very gallantly takes it and
Okay.
graces her hand with a kiss and says, "I'm Master Stosdak, and these are my associates, Evelyn and Tessina."
Your associates bow their head. Good. Okay. So pleased to make your acquaintance. What would you like this evening? Do you want to dine under the stars once they deign to make their appearance? Or would you prefer... we have a few seats available at the bar. It's a little crowded up here. You might fancy our lower level. Whatever makes you happy.
Well, it's our first time here at Kleodna's Bounty. I'm sorry, are you Kleodna?
Kleodna is the goddess of the sea, so yes. No, unfortunately, I am not. But you may call me the captain if you so desire. Most everyone does.
Well, Captain, we came here with the aim of conducting a bit of business.
Oh.
And I suppose, oh,
Thank you, person now following us. 603. Gareth is going to say,
I think that we should mingle and have a beverage. It's not good to discuss business before having a glass of chilled red in one's hand.
I completely agree. So please help make yourselves at home. I always do. And she just kind of drifts away with her big cap, the feather flapping. Evelyn's like,
Gareth is feeling pretty pleased with himself.
you're very charming, obviously.
Obviously. Question. I might I might say,
Tessina and Evelyn, go make friends.
and I think maybe I'll send them to talk to these lovely elves down here.
Mhm.
And then I think I'm going to go to the bar. Who is this person in the amazing token? Is this a crab?
This person. Oh, sorry. The you see the Lorella, the captain, drifting over, and she scoops a crab off the wall and sets it onto her shoulder, and then walks around with it through the tavern. So yes, sorry, Lorella has a crab familiar. I don't know
Naturally.
if I have a name for him or not, but yes, of course, he has a. Why wouldn't? I mean, if you're going to be a fake ship captain who has a tavern.
I think the crab is probably named Kraken, right? But like Carckin.
Yes. Or Cornelius.
Probably
Cornelius Kraken the Crab.
Exactly. And
Yes. Sorry, so this is Lorella's
gotcha.
token. She doesn't look like that. I don't picture her as looking. Looks kind of scary. Anyway, getting off topic. Who are you trying to talk to, Gareth?
I'm going to talk to the bartender because that's what you do in places, and I'll order a beverage, and I'll say,
Evening, Master Kinku, sir. We'll have 3 of your finest chilled reds, and if you don't mind, I've a quick question. Do you know of a man named Amrick?
and I'll slide across 5 gold pieces.
Ooh. 3 of your finest chilled reds. Kinku says to you, turning around to fetch the reds. And so he kind of gets a bottle and pours them. And then with a fluff of the winged feather, Amrick can always be found below.
Nice. I say,
Regards,
and scoop up the wine, and as I go,
Regards.
I like that. Oh, he imitated me. How are things, before I go and join Evelyn and Tessina, are they making friends? I imagine Tessina is making friends.
Tessina has made so many new friends. You hear lots of giggles from across the tavern, and Evelyn seems to actually be doing relatively well as well. Also, the twins that they're talking to are kind of sitting on the table, head on their wrists or head on their fist, kind of talking to them. And then I crossed the ocean. It was so exciting. And, well, I sailed the sea for a while, and I maybe was a ship captain in that life too, probably. And, oh, Gareth, thank you. Is this for me?
Yes, they're red, they're chilled, and they're expensive, so enjoy them. How do you do?
Oh.
I am Master Stosdak.
I say, introducing myself to the elves.
Mm-hmm. As they speak, they kind of skip back and forth of which one is saying which thing and finish one another's sentences. Hello, Master Stovestock. We are Gareth and Eldon, and we are from the Underland and are so excited to be up on the surface of Respite today. Not just today, multiple days, because we have been here for at least a week. It's been very exciting so far. We're very adventurous and daring. Our family told us to be very careful of the sun.
Yes, you probably won't see too much of that in Respite. It's something with the coal and burning and forges running and whatnot, but occasionally we do get a sunny day. Now, you said you were from the
And
Underland, and are you sightseeing?
we are new adventurers. We are adventuring. Adventurous sightseers, if you will.
Remarkable.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Well, I am Master Stosdak, and I am a businessman.
A businessman. Well, that sounds very important. Very important indeed.
And I am extremely important and wealthy. That's how you know when somebody is important.
Oh.
Well, tell me, apropos of nothing, have either of you heard or seen any cities suddenly appear in the Underland?
Cities suddenly appear apropos. No. Have you seen any cities suddenly appear in the Underland?
No, I've not had the pleasure of adventure sightseeing in the Underland, but...
And Gareth, if I can interrupt us for just a second. So the Underland is like the Underdark, not like the negative planes.
Yeah.
Just in case. Okay.
Yeah, I thought as much. I just wanted to,
Oh,
Okay.
I think that's a great question. I wanted to make sure that wasn't, I wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally miscommunicate something, and then Gareth is looking for Beacon in the Underland instead of
To the cave!
negatively. Are you missing a city?
I look over at Tessina and look back at them and say,
Well, yes. I don't know if you've seen or heard much of what's going on. As non-natives of Respite, I would urge you to be especially careful, as it seems that there are some nefarious forces in the city that are mistreating those that are not native to the city.
That sounds incredibly rude. Yes, our mother warned us of that. That is true. She did warn us. Thank you so much for the warning. We will be especially careful.
Recently, a city called Beacon was misplaced, disappeared, drugged down. I was hoping that perhaps you all had some news of that, but I see that's not the case.
Do you need a map?
Almost always. Sure. A map to the Underland?
No, of course not. We have a map for Eldura. They roll out a very crude kind of sketch. You see squares of countries or city-states represented by their initials. See an R for Respite, a B off in the ocean for Beacon with some waves.
Does it appear to be helpful, or is this just kind of a like they don't really have a good picture of what's going on the surface?
They know where things are on the surface. You have a even better idea. So,
I think that you'll probably need to hold on to this precious item if you're going to be successful adventuring sightseers. So,
yes, I think maybe don't go here or here.
listen to
over
her.
here. This has disappeared, so you might put a question mark here, and now you're up to date.
Gareth Eldon, question. Dude,
Gareth,
that's me. Is this gentleman behind me? I don't want to make assumptions, but is this gentleman behind me, a friend of yours, or?
no, he does not want to speak to us. Any questions about where precisely he was from, and he got all cranky about it. So we've been trying to leave him alone, but no, we are not offended. He may be offended if you ask if he is consorting with or connected to us.
As Gareth
Just heads up.
throws his head over his shoulder and kind of slyly indicates this individual. What is this person like? With this amazing token?
Let me see. So you see actually that person appears to be an off-duty guard of the city. You can tell by the kind of green and silver band. Actually, no, that wouldn't be the right colors. We'll say red and gold kind of pen on their shirt, that they are part of the guard of the gate of Spite.
And are they sitting and talking with this? Is this just for my knowledge? Is this a Duragar?
A Duragar person, okay. Yes, a Duragar. So yes, you see this duty guard. You would assume talking with this Duragar man. They're both kind of scowling at each other and playing a card game.
Cool. Can I tell what kind of card game they're playing?
They are playing Champion's Bones.
Is that a game that people can join in or no?
It is a game that people can join in. Would you like to play?
Yeah, I think I'll go introduce myself and I'll walk over and say, pardon me, masters, I'm Gareth Stosdak, and if you have another seat, I have coin.
If you've got coin, we've got another seat. Gestures for you to sit down with them, and orders another round of drinks for the three of you.
Cool. And are Tessina and Evelyn happy?
Yeah, do you want them to stay where they are? Do you want them to make more friends? Tina really likes her two new Underdark elf friends.
Mm-hmm. I think that if they're happy, then I'm happy. I'll make some friends over here. When I introduced myself, Did they tell me their names?
Oh, sorry. Grimboot and Skadrick. Same for just a second until I work out separate ones.
Moot and Skadrick?
Grimboot.
Grimboot. That's a great name.
Grimboot. Boot is a cool name too, but yeah, Grimboot and Skadrick.
I like Skadrick too. Cool. So what is the buy-in?
Okay, you will need 3 6-sided dice.
Okay.
And you will agree on an ante. They're gonna let you, since you're new, put up the first antes. How much do you put in the pot, Gareth?
I put in 10 gold.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, I want to mark my spot. Okay. 10 gold. They kind of raise an eyebrow and match you. So Each player puts the agreed ante in the pot. Each player rolls 3 dice. Play then proceeds clockwise around the table, with the host of the game going last. So let's roll 3d6s. If we roll them in roll 20, will it show them to us separately?
Yes.
Can you see mine? I rolled a 6, a 2, and a 5.
And I rolled a 4, a 3, and a 2.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for the other one of the 2 of them as well. So the top one is Skandrick, the bottom one is Grimboot. A 1, a 4, and a 4. Okay. On their turn, Gareth, we're gonna let you go first. You can choose to stand or to roll. If the player stands, the next player can take a turn. A player who rolls takes an additional die and rolls it. If the total of their die exceeds 21, they bust and are out of the game. Otherwise, they can keep rolling additional dice until they either stand or break.
Cool.
After everyone has had a turn, the highest point total, excluding players who busted, wins the game and takes the pot.
Blackjack with dice. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So do you want to go first, or do you want me to have one of them go first?
Let's keep the order. So, in the chat, I think you're the first one to go first.
Yeah. So Skandrick is gonna roll another d6.
Ooh, 19.
So he's at 19. And I think that he's gonna stay there.
Okay. I'm going to roll.
He kind of scowls at the 2 of you.
Is Skandrick the guard or the...
Skandrick is the guard, and Grimboot is the Duragar.
Cool.
This is Skandrick.
I'm gonna say, as we're playing, like the whole point is to get some information too. So I think as we play, I'm going to say, Master Skandrick, have you heard any news or anything? What's the deal with all of the refugees? And I'm gonna do my roll.
Okay.
So I'm at 11.
Uh-huh.
Do I wait another round? Or
I'll let
do I
you
go
finish
ahead
your... You can go ahead and roll if you wish.
So I'm at 11. Now I'm at 15.
Oh, I was wrong. Sorry. You can pause there. I think everybody rolls 1. I did it wrong. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Maybe the first round you can roll 2. We'll pause there. Sorry, I'm getting confused with rolling for 2 different people. So Grimboot is going to roll his d6, and he is now at 13. So Skandrick kind of waves off his hand, watching the 2 of you roll, and he's going to say, yes, high number of refugees in the area. Gareth, you've had a pretty high perception check. You can tell that Skandrick is rather drunk at the moment, or kind of slurry in speech. One of the 2.
Perfect.
Can't believe they were talking about letting them into the city, but I'm glad that somebody stepped in. This guy is all right, but no sense in just risking it all, you know.
And as we continue, when he says like this guy, I would regard the Duragar, and Gareth is going to say, Master Grimboot, are you also from Beacon?
No. Beacon?
Well, no, I hail from... Well, actually, yes, but I haven't been there for many years. Where do you hail from, Master Grimboot? And I wait for Skandrick to take his turn.
Oh, sorry, Skandrick passed to you.
He's done, he's at 19. So I'm at 15. Here we go. No whammies. 21.
Ah! So Skandrick kind of gets back in his seat, and Boot scowls at you. I'm from here.
20.
He's at 18. 18.
Oh,
He rolled a 9 and a 4 and a 5.
right.
He's going to go one more and see what happens.
Oh,
He's going to do it one more time. Oh, he busted with a 6. Okay. Throws up his hands. So you get the pot. 30 gold to you, Gareth.
so I'm going to add 20 gold so that I didn't take out any from my ante. Cool. I like this game. I guess I would talk to Grimboot a little bit, just a little bit more. Do you live in the center, the city center? So I smile at him.
I look like I live in the city center. No. I live near here. I basically live here.
Ah, regular.
Yes. This guy. Friend.
Do you,
Been here for 2 minutes. Kicked off of the guard for betrayal.
So wait. I'm sorry. I think your Discord cut out just a little bit. Who's betrayed who?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's talking about Skadrick and said that he got kicked out of the guard of the gate for betrayal.
Skadrick got kicked out of the guard of the gate for betrayal?
What Grimboot is saying.
I put my fist down and I look at Skadrick and I say,
Well, this certainly sounds like a tale. Another round for my friends.
Another round for my friends. Kenku bartender says to you.
I'm obsessed with the
comes over
Kenku
with a tray.
bartender. So I want to hear Skadrick's story.
Okay, do you guys keep playing Baldur's Bones?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to play another round?
Yeah, maybe one of them is too poor.
I'm not playing with you all anymore, Grimboot says, leaning back away.
Too rich for your blood.
I'll do it.
So do 46?
It's 3d6, the first roll. Nice. So a 5, a 2, and a 2 for Gareth. A 1, a 5, and a 4 for 10 for Skadrick.
I'm going to roll again.
Okay.
So 13.
Mm-hmm. Skadrick's going to glare, and he's going to roll again.
I'm going to look at him and I say, you don't have the stones, man. And I'm going to roll again.
And how much did you put in, Gareth?
10.
Put in 10 again.
So I'm at 13.
You are.
So now I'm at 16.
Mm-hmm. Skadrick glares at you. Fine. And does his roll. So now he's at 17.
And I say,
Well, what is money for anyway?
so I'm at 20. And I'm going to stand.
Ooh. Okay. Skadrick's going to roll one last time. So he's at, let's see, 15, 17, 20.
And then I'm going to say,
What happened?
What do we do now? Do you want to arm wrestle for it?
Yes. Puts his arm up on the table.
Bring it.
Gareth, roll a strength check.
can I roll athletics?
Yep, you can roll athletics.
16.
You destroy poor Skadrick and his armor thing. Wham! Grimboot's drink almost falls off the table. He has to snatch it off of the tabletop. He scowls at both of you and kind of sips it with both of his hands. All right. I promised you a story. Well, it was a misunderstanding. I thought that I was helping some people in the city, and they turned out to be a little on the kookier side, perhaps, or on the wrong side of the law. I get busted by this night watch lady, and it's all... Anyway, so I'm on unpaid leave.
Well, these folks that you got mixed up in, did they like to take baths?
Did they smell weird?
Did they, you could tell me, we're friends. Were they into roughing up the weirdos from out of town?
Yes. I don't think it had anything to do with baths, but yes. They just thought we should be a little bit more careful than some of the gate guards wanted to be with who was coming into the city and who was not. You can understand that.
Oh. Well.
This guy understands it. He pretends not to, but he does. Grimwood just kind of glares at him.
Can I do an insight check on Grimboot to see like where he's falling on this conversation? Because I think it's pretty clear that Gareth thinks that this Skadric is kind of a douche, to put it mildly, and so I want to see where Grimboot is at. 21. I want to stare into Grimboot's soul.
Okay, you stare into Grimboot's soul. It's almost like magnesium shards that you picked up earlier are already starting to work, just like Tessina thought that they would. You can see that Grimboot doesn't necessarily or doesn't very much respect Skadric, but kind of begrudgingly, they seem to at least have an understanding with one another, where they kind of, it's not someone that he mistrusts, but that doesn't mean that it's someone that he super likes.
Sure.
And you kind of get the sense that Grimboot might not like very many people at all, very much.
But he likes me, right?
He's tolerating you just fine.
I'm always aiming for tolerance. I think Gareth is going to say, Skadric, don't you have anyone here that could help you in your time of difficulty?
What do you mean?
Oh, I guess I came here hoping to meet someone, a man named Amrick, and from what I gather, you all might have similar thoughts about the events transpiring outside the city.
Yeah, he's just a floor down, but I already owe him money. He said I couldn't have any more, so.
Well.
Do you need to see him? He's just downstairs.
In time. And I'm going to, like, get up and, like, pat him on the shoulder, but, like, squeeze the crap out of him. Like, friendly, but I want to hurt him a little bit. And then I'm going to go find Evelyn and Tessina and say that we're going to go downstairs. And I'm going to wink at the captain.
Okay.
Wink.
Are you making an unarmed strike against Skadric?
I don't know that it would be, like, a whole...
Are you trying to deal damage or no?
No, I'm just like...
You're just kind of trying to give him a bruise.
Yeah, like if we shook hands, I'd do that thing where like you rub your finger bones together.
Yeah. Roll a charisma check for your wink at the captain.
My flirtation. Flirt check.
Your flirtation.
20.
Woo! 2 winks back. What is the crab?
That's awesome. So I gather up Evelyn and Tessina, and I'd say, let's go talk to Amrick. I won some money. I think the magnesium
Okay.
probably helped.
Gareth, I'm so glad that you went with the magnesium. I think that was definitely the right decision. As your accountant, lets me account to you. It's always a good idea. Almost always, so long as it's not pretend.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the birds we talked about.
Right.
Do you guys want to go down the stairs?
We go down the stairs.
Evelyn's just kind of like looking at the two of you. You go down the stairs.
Evelyn's like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Yeah. Let's see. Here's Evelyn. Here's Tessina. Oops, that's the guard. Here's Tessina. So which set of stairs do you guys go down? So let's see. That's up to L2, down to L6. So here you find yourselves at the base of the stairs. So you come down. There is another one of the guard-looking people right at the foot of the stairs.
Okay, and I give him a nod, and I say, yes, my good man, I'm here to discuss business with Master Amrick.
He's just finishing up with someone, but I'm sure you can wait in the couches in the middle.
Very good. And does he look like a guy that would take a tip, or no? Like almost like a doorman kind of thing? Because I'm like flush with cash right now, and so I might like put a gold piece in his doublet.
He looks like the tavern guards.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you can give him a gold piece. He kind of raises an eyebrow, but he accepts it.
Yeah, I think I'll just say, and I just give him a gold piece, and I'd say, for your discretion, or there's more where that came from, if it comes to that or anything. Wink, and then I go over to the couches.
Okay, perfect. Do you want a drink? Everyone asks.
3 red, chilled reds.
Christina thinks it's really funny that you always drink the same thing.
I think Gareth doesn't seem like somebody that would drink essentially sangria, but there's something about it.
Once he discovered it, it was the only thing for him. The Kinku repeats back to you, 3 chilled red.
I think was it Evelyn or Tessina kind of giving me a look for the chilled red?
Oh, Tessina just thinks it's funny.
I would just say, well, I mean, when you spend all day over a fire, the cool, sweet red is refreshing and delightful.
That makes sense.
Embracing. You can certainly drink whatever you want to drink. If you, Kinku, belay that order.
I do have this. Belay that order.
2 chilled reds.
We'll go see what they have. And, you hear the Kenku and Tessina going back and forth. Tessina's voice echoing back and forth to herself, which she thinks is really delightful. You feel a little bit bad for the Kenku bartender because she's asking too many questions that end with the same thing being repeated back to herself. With a tall drink with lots of fruit in it. That's a pale ambery brown color.
Perfect.
Fruit is not, the liquid is. In fruit, liquidy amber color. So you guys walk in. You see so you're down on the 3rd floor, the lounge deck, we shall say. So this lounge deck is lit by oil lanterns hanging from the 8-foot high ceiling, from 1 foot long chain. So there are a couple, you have to dodge them a little bit. Gareth, as you're very tall, and they hang down kind of relatively low. The windowless deck contains a bar, couches, coffee tables, and tables where patrons can socialize and gamble. There are 3 of the bouncers in plain view across the deck. So there's the one that you saw, there's this guy here, and another person here. And there's somebody, the person who had been over here with Amrick. You kind of roll a perception check and see how much you can overhear their conversation.
I would love to. Whatcha? 21.
Nice. So you see him talking to you see him kind of whispering to a rather built individual. And with your very high perception check, you hear, yes, but I don't want to loan him any more money. So tell him, just don't let him down here today. I don't want to see Grim Bootstrap, whatever, again till next week at the earliest, once he has my payment. Very good, sir. And so then that person who you now suspect is one of Amrick's guards walks away. Now, this next to Amrick, you see a very ugly light purple pet with lots of spikes.
I think there's something wrong with that dog.
You don't think that's a dog?
And I have Grimboot's money in my purse. I don't think that Amrick is going to be very happy.
He shouldn't have been so loose with his money, I suppose. You there? Are you ready to talk to me?
I stand up with great dignity, and I take my time going over there, and I, with a flourish, I say,
Greetings, I'm Master Stosdak, and these are my associates. Evelyn, my muscle, and Tessina, my accountant. Don't mind them.
Where's my dad? Great, sure. Please have a seat. And so you can kind of sit on the couch across from him. Do you want Tessina to sit next to you?
yes, and maybe Evelyn can glower.
Yeah, Evelyn's going to glower. This guy's going to take a step away to give you guys some privacy. The dog looks rather reptilian this close.
I'm going to say, what a marvelous creature you have with you.
Thank you. He very carefully pets the top of its head.
Petting a hedgehog.
Really spiky, really big hedgehog.
It smells like sulfur in here. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm Master Stosdak, and I understand that you're a man of business, and I came to Kleodna's bounty today, hoping to meet you and hoping that you and I could discuss business. It's of a sensitive nature. Perhaps we can go somewhere even more private.
I can have them take a few steps back. Nobody will bother us down here if you wish.
Yeah, that would make me feel more comfortable.
Sure. Gentlemen, could you give us a little bit more space? Thank you so much. Amrick. And he extends his hand to you. The guards up a little bit further away. Kinka goes.
I think that Gareth is going to say,
now I don't know how plugged in to what's going on in the city you are. Do you take an interest in the political situation?
I do.
What do you think of these people that find themselves at our doorstep?
What people do you mean, Master Stosdak?
The refugees from Beacon.
Try not to think of them, truth be told. What do you think, sir?
Well, they seem to have the city watch quite in a tizzy.
Yes, but when is the City Watch not in a tizzy?
Fair enough. The city watch, I'll cut to the chase, has asked myself and members of my guild to produce arms and implements at substandard rates, and they are essentially shutting us down as we negotiate collectively, and we shall not bow to their demands. Now, my guild...
Very brave of you.
Well, my guild doesn't know that I'm here, but I find myself in a situation in which I cannot afford to go shuttered this long. And so I'm wondering if I might be able to work out some kind of deal or loan with you.
How much were you looking to borrow, sir?
Gareth is gonna say a substantial sum. I don't know if you would even have it or access to it.
I would have access to it. I can, well, it depends on what you're willing to put up or offer as collateral, of course, but I charge 25% interest due within the week. But I am cognizant of your situation. Arms, arms, arms for the poor, I always say. Tessina kind of squints at him, like, and she almost says, like, that's not the phrase. You see Evelyn, where you hear jerk forward, Evelyn kind of elbows her in the back of the head, and she says nothing. I can offer you up to... He strokes his mustache, but I don't have one, so... mustache. What do you say to 75, Master Sozdak? 75 gold set you up? Simple man such as yourself?
Oh, 75 gold. Well, Tessina, it's evident that we've come to the wrong place. And Gareth starts to stand up.
100. 125.
1,000.
You intrigue me. Sit down. No. You know where we are, sir, don't you? Just take a seat. Bring some more drinks over here, if you would. Know where we are, don't you?
And Kleodna's bounty.
Very good, yes. So one would need to be a little bit off of one's rocker, say, to bring that kind of money here, where it might be easily lost or stolen, even with Kashara's very careful gaze, wouldn't it? He says, petting the spiky dinosaur next to him. Or butt.
I'm gonna say, well, I didn't assume that you carried that quantity with you. I didn't think that you were sitting on it. But nevertheless, I find myself disappointed that we couldn't come to a better arrangement. I had heard that you were a very well-connected and affluent individual, but perhaps I was mistaken.
I am a well-connected and affluent individual. It's so kind of you to notice and know that about me. You, of course, know who it is that I am affluent and connected to, don't you?
Indeed, and that's why I thought that 1,000 gold wouldn't be as much of an issue.
1,000 gold is nothing to me, and anyway, no sense in alarming everyone or upsetting them, especially with the rates of interest that I charge. But tell me, what was it that You mentioned the refugees. How does this money affect them? Most curious.
Oh, I need the money in order to weather the storm that their presence has caused to buffet my business.
And your blacksmith shop does thousands of gold worth of business.
Well, I certainly can't say how long the City Watch will be forcing me to shutter my business, and I certainly can't say how long the refugees shall remain.
I understand your concern, sir, but I will tell you that I don't know that you'll have to be worried for super long. Give it a month, maybe. I wouldn't suggest it being any longer than that.
You sound as if you know something. Care to share man to man?
Oh, well, maybe. Roll a persuasion check, Gareth.
Persuasion. 18.
Ooh. Well, the thing is, just between us then, as we're friends now, you, of course, know of my connection to the Lady Eliza Seymour.
I'd heard rumors.
Yes, well, I've done her quite a favor recently, to be honest, and she and the city are truly in my debt, and so, I'm helping her to care for and helping her to solve this refugee, how did you put it, issue? And so, no, I don't think we'll have to be worried about it for so much longer.
In your great capacity, might I ask what you are planning? Perhaps I might offer my assistance.
Oh, fascinating. In what way would you like to assist me, sir?
Oh, my...
I already have Valtus's services here, and... but please.
As may or may not be abundantly evident by my company, my primary business lies in the forging of fine goods, but recently we've picked up a side hustle of getting things done, as it were.
Oh. I'm not sure I'm following you, good man. What sorts of things are you getting done?
Unpleasant tasks that need to be taken care of. If you share with me what it is that you have planned, then perhaps we can work together.
Well, see, my plans are already in motion. I can let you in on a little bit of gossip, though, if you're interested.
Always the wheels of business are oiled by the oil of gossip.
He looks at you like, that was weird. Well, the Lady Eliza Seymour has had a recent visitor to her home. How familiar are you with the city of Beacon, sir?
I have passing familiarity. I was born there.
Oh, so you are likely familiar then with one of the high priests of the city, Rawrick, the Fey elven gentleman who looks rather like this one, he says, pointing to Evelyn. He receives a glare in response.
Perfect. Gareth, what does Gareth know about Ralric or Rorik?
Rawrick.
Rawrick.
Is it too silly of a name?
No, I just wanted to make sure that I had it.
Rawrick.
Rawrick.
I wasn't hitting the W quite so hard. Be careful.
Rawrick. What does he know about Rawrick?
So Gareth knows that Rawrick is one of the high priests of Beacon, and so it's kind of similar to the government positions in Respite, although in Beacon they are religious. And so Rawrick has been in power for an extended period of time as one of the kind of top 3 high priests of the city for at least the last, I don't know, I think it would be for Gareth like his whole living memory.
Cool. And do I have any personal opinions or attitudes towards Rawrick?
Roll a history check for me. Let's see what Gareth has kind of picked up on or remembered.
12.
Okay. So Rawrick is, as far as you know, an upstanding member of the city of Beacon. There was some unpleasantness where he was concerned early on in your childhood that you more heard about from your parents, but his name was cleared in that instance, and so it seemed to have been a misunderstanding, and those who had accused him of misdoing redacted their accusations, and his name was cleared, and so he is much beloved by the city of Beacon. Most everyone in Beacon. He is very high up in the religious order of the city.
Cool.
Though he's not as magically active as the other 2 high priests.
I would ask him. So wait. I'll ask him. Amrick, is this a recent visit? It was my understanding that Beacon befell some great calamity. Is Rawrick here now?
He is here now, or at least that's what the rumors say. Isn't that mighty convenient in terms of one's timing? Just as the raven leaves the city, we have this other sunny someone to come and take their place. At least to come and pay us a visit. One must have a sixth sense about these things.
I glance at his spine devil dog, and yes, or some particularly good channels of information and powerful friends. I give him like a significant look, like,
My powerful friend does have a significant set of insight and channel of information, one might say.
Well, Master Amrick, you've been more than accommodating. I wonder, is there anything that shall we table the discussion of the loan and broach it at a later occasion, or or is there anything that you would like us to do to expedite the fulfillment of Lady Eliza's design?
Well, it's not Lady Eliza's plan so much. Although, again, she has taken my plan along with that of someone who's very, very, very important and powerful. So, but no, let's keep on with this business of the loan. So, let's say in a week's time, do you think you might be able to take, what if I write you a check for half the amount that you've requested? 500 gold that you can take to the bank. You will then owe me 625 in a week's time.
I can only pray that the situation is resolved by then.
Just come back then if you need the other 500, and we'll talk about a secondary interest rate, shall we? And he kind of snaps, and the guard comes over with a checkbook and hands it to him, and then walks back away again, and he draws a pen, does a thing where people lick the thing that they're going to write with. It's gross, but somehow don't get it like ink all over their mouth.
Yeah.
It's magic. So,
so I'll take the check for 500 gold.
And he has you sign a contract as well that he kind of rolls out.
Do the terms of the contract, are they limited to exactly what we just discussed?
Roll a perception check. Are you trying to read the contract?
Yeah, I definitely want to read any contract before I sign it. So would this be intelligence or perception?
Intelligence is fine.
Intelligence. Well, this is a straight roll. Here we go. 10. I am of medium intelligence. I can walk and chew gum.
So you read through the contract, and it is standard for these kind of specifications of in 7 days' time, you will pay Amrick back the 625 gold that for having borrowed 500 gold at a 25% interest rate. It also references an alchemist if you want to try to turn that money into more money. At which Tessina kind of scoffs and then tries to fake it into a cough.
Cool.
And it specifies I think the terms start 7 days from not cashing, but taking the check to the Bank of Respite and getting your funds kind of liquid there. And it does entail a forfeiture of property and kind of this scaffolding thing of that Amrick is entitled to receiving his money back with interest at whatever means necessary to acquire said owed funds.
Great. Nothing like getting in bed with the devil. I think that I would be trying to, I think right as I'm making my goodbyes and thanking him for his time, I think that I would say, Master Amrick, one more thing. You've been more than accommodating. Someone who is evidently has aligned interest. I wonder, would it be possible to meet this incredible figure, really the only person in the city who's ready to do what needs to be done? It would be such an honor to be able to meet this Eliza Seymour in person.
Fascinating. Well, so you have a little plan then that you'd wish to speak over with Eliza herself, sort of a working person's plan for business?
Something like that.
Is this on behalf of yourself or your guild?
I don't think it's necessary to get the guild involved.
Very well, very well. Roll a persuasion check, Gareth.
Persuasion, here we go. 14.
Nice. So, sure. Do you want to come back in a week's time and we can see if she has some space in her schedule then?
That sounds fine. Or if you're busy, maybe I know that she holds you in such great esteem and that you're one of her closest confidants. I'm curious, even
closest.
Yes, that's what I said, and I'm wondering if Perhaps a note of introduction or something. Anything with your name on it, really, I think would perhaps go a long way so I wouldn't have to inconvenience you again.
Oh, that is most kind of you. But I'll be the one arranging the meeting for you. I do take care of her schedule, so perhaps in a week, I'll just pencil you in. So, you and I can collect funds, and then the day after that, say, would you like to meet with Lady Eliza?
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time.
And he kind of snaps at his guard, who he has, and add this fellow to Lady Eliza's calendar for a week from tomorrow. Blah 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 blah.
Groovy.
Yep.
As we begin to kind of like part ways, I would very quickly and quietly inquire of Tessina and Evelyn, sneakily, do you recognize this piece of doo-doo?
This piece of what are you talking about?
Was he involved at all in kidnapping you? Did you see him while you were being tortured?
Oh. No, but does he look like he's gonna get his hands dirty? You glance over, his hands look perfectly manicured. Evelyn kind of grabs you and yanks you towards the side of the boat. We know that he is responsible financially for what's going on with the refugees. I felt like he practically admitted that to you in your conversation, or at least alluded to it heavily. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a way into his boss. I think that we might come back later when he's leaving and do some looking for justice. Good day, and like
Thank you for your time.
as we go out, the guards, I would like to give each of them a gold on my way out.
Okay, including his guard or the other three?
I'm thinking about the other three, just like, just remember me and think of me kindly. Keep me in your prayers and whatnot, and like just kind of, I'm just spreading some gold around to generate some goodwill.
Right. Okay, cool. They're very appreciative. And you give some money to the bartender as well.
Indeed.
Great. You give everybody some money. Do you just the three guards on this floor, or do you do it for the three guards on the next floor as well?
We'll do it on the way out as well.
Okay. And you guys want to go all the way out?
Yes, I think in parting, I'm gonna thank the captain. The fantastic establishment.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful time.
She holds out her hand for another kiss.
I kiss her hand
I'm
again.
so glad. I do hope you'll be returning to see us.
Oh, you can count on it. Perhaps in the future we'll be able to spend some more time together.
I hope so. Crab kind of raises its eyebrows at you because we're in a magical world, so the crabs can have little eyebrows.
Perfect.
Like in a cartoon. So, yes, you've made quite the impression on the captain, as well as on Amrick. Very good job. Oops, clicked the wrong button. Okay, so you guys want to go all the way out of the tavern?
Yes, and I want to clock the raven imps, and then I want to find a place that is kind of out of the way a little bit, but that we can still see Kleodna's bounty. And I think that we're going to kind of hide and maybe talk or debrief or plan. Because I feel like I want to break Amrick's knees.
Okay. So do you guys want to just go to like another tavern or?
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's another tavern or like an inconspicuous place where we could hang out, that's in sight,
Okay.
then I think we would do that and kind of wait for late night. And we want to be on the lookout for him kind of leaving Kleodna's bounty.
Okay. So funnily enough, the tavern where you met Ticina, is just down the street. So, let me see. Let me get rid of some people here, and the extra one of you. But so Evelyn will suggest that you guys go there for at least a little bit to kind of hang out at the Elf Song Tavern, and she says that he's not going to be leaving for at least a little while, so we can kind of lay low for a few moments at least. What do you say?
That sounds perfect. Perhaps we can get your booth and we can discuss next steps.
Sounds good to me. And Ticina re-greets her friend Silverus. It's very lovely. But so, do you want to pause here for a moment?
Yes. Yeah, we'll maybe do like a little 13-minute break. Come back at 8:50.
That sounds
And
perfect.
then punch Amrick in the head until he tells us everything.
Okay.
Cool. So we will be right back with more Tales of Eldura at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys. So, Gareth, you find yourself across from Evelyn and Ticina back at the tavern where Captain Millicent Legree sent you to find Evelyn in the first place. Silverus, the bartender, is very excited to see the three of you. He thinks it's very cool that you guys are hanging out together and are now all best friends. So he brings your chilled wine over. He has something special for Ticina. He has Evelyn's signature beverage, whiskey on the rocks, and so everybody's happy.
Can I, out of game real quick, do you think that you could turn down the volume a little bit in the tavern?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I just didn't want to...
How's that?
Way better. Thank you.
Do you want it to go down further?
Nope, it's perfect.
Sorry, some of the songs, like the last soundtrack we were listening to, was a lot softer than the tavern one. I get that it's a tavern and it should be louder, or that it's more exciting. But yeah, sorry. Oops.
It's all good.
My hair looks weird. Okay.
Cool. So we have our beverages, and I think I'd lean and talk to the ladies. Evelyn, Ticina, what do you think, Amrick? What did you think about Amrick? Obviously, an evil dude.
Yes, I did not like his dinosaur pet. That wasn't a dinosaur.
That devil creature certainly seems to implicate and connect him to the situation with the murder cults under the bathhouse.
I agree. I don't know. Gareth, he certainly seems like a sketchy guy, but he's also very well connected. What are you hoping that we'll be able to do?
I don't know that I feel comfortable allowing him to continue his nefarious dealings and destroying people's lives and endangering and probably facilitating the murder of people.
I'm sure he's paying for the murder of people.
That's
okay.
it feels unacceptable. I mean, your associate's Maverick was snatched up and killed, and that I believe that was probably paid for by him.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sure that's the case. I'm trying to ask what we are meant to do about it.
Well, I'd thought to jump him in the night as he left. It's a dangerous section of the city. I thought
Probably won't leave till morning, will he?
Do you think he'll stay in the tavern all night?
Or through the early morning hours at least. If you were trying to profit off of people making bad decisions, how long would you wait in a tavern?
I see what your point. I had thought to stake him out and snatch him. Perhaps get him to implicate himself in the things that we suspect that he's doing. And then I thought perhaps we could turn him over to the Night Watch if we could. What do you think? Is it a bad plan?
I don't know that it's necessarily a bad plan. It's a letter of the law sort of plan for sure, but it works sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel right allowing this snake to potentially be the cause of anybody else's death. Do either of you know anything about Rorick and why he would be here? It certainly seems odd that he left Beacon and it sounds like the hours before it fell.
I don't really know a whole lot about him, Gareth. I'm sorry. It's I had hoped that you might know more with the that religious practice to which you practice. But there are other people in my coven who are very good at history, and we can talk to them, but we would need to go there.
The other people in your coven, are these people still outside the wall?
Oh, well, most of my coven is still in the Witchwood. I was traveling, and that's why I saw what happened to Beacon.
Right, I guess I was hoping that perhaps we wouldn't have to travel all the way to the Witchwood.
That would be very convenient, wouldn't it?
It would. So the Raven has left and Rorick has come in. Amrick seemed to suggest that they were almost swapping out, which makes me very concerned for the Raven.
Well, and it certainly sounds like he wasn't in... Well, it sounds like the Raven was in Beacon at the time in which it fell.
Indeed.
And I think that... I mean, the longer that he's gone, doesn't that throw off the balance in city government? Doesn't that put more power in the hands of Eliza Seymour?
Certainly it does.
And, I mean, it basically pits her against the people's person, doesn't it? Because the commanders are only going to get involved when they absolutely have to, and they're going to be focused on the war effort and, of course, the disappearance of a city from the surface of the world. So
I was lost in thought for a moment. I'm convinced that perhaps if we can grab this Amrick fellow, then we can have further intelligence or at least further cause to go after Eliza, because I feel like that's where our path is taking us.
Do you not want to just go after her now, Gareth? Wondering if going after Amrick, and then if we get caught, will that hurt our chance of going after Eliza? Do we let the medium-sized fish sit in its pond and grab the big one, or do we grab the medium fish and hope that it doesn't scare away the big one?
I think that we need to do both, and I think that we need to not allow very much time to... We don't need Eliza realizing that Amrick is not returning her calls or whatever.
Flipping out your phones. Maybe... What if we pretend that Amrick sent us to see Eliza?
Do you hear Buck? He's like stretching and just grumbling.
I saw his little head pop up.
We're such a nut.
It's nice that he's decided to wake up now.
Yeah. Definitely, I think gaining access to the Seymour estate, that's why I was hoping that Amrick would give us some kind of token or letter of introduction or something, but perhaps we can...
We made you an appointment for next week.
That is fair enough. I don't think that the people of Beacon and the refugees can wait until that blessed occasion. Don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that we should wait. Just because she's very busy doesn't mean that we are. I'm not even convinced that she is so very busy. I think that they just make you wait so they seem extra important. That's what I would do.
Typical tactic of the bourgeoisie to inflate their own importance and therefore justify their own meager existence. The only justification is in the work of one's hands.
They ignore the plaintive pleas of the fuzzy populace.
We're just very excited about our bone.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, Gareth, I noticed that you did make a very positive impression on the captain.
Thank you. I have found it helpful from time to time to... He's so distracting. To cultivate some affection from members of the opposite persuasion. Okay, we might have a couple of moments.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I wonder if she... do you think that she was so taken that she could help us set up Amrick? Or do you think that my charms only go so far?
Gareth, I don't think that you should limit yourself. It seemed rather pleased at your company, so...
I wonder, very well, I wonder if we could arrange to have maybe the captain can call all the guards up into the first level, and then we could go down, grab Amrick, and get out without any unpleasantness and without any kind of overt issue.
Or she could just tell us when he is leaving.
Yes, that makes way more sense.
Then she's less complicit, I suppose, because I think that she probably does benefits from him being there.
Right. Okay. Here's the plan.
Okay.
I go back to Kleodna's bounty.
Step 1.
I flirt with her and get her to let us know, perhaps with a lantern light,
Ooh.
when he is making his move. And then when he is clear of Kleodna's bounty, we descend on him like 3 wraiths of righteous vengeance.
I like Wraiths of Righteous Vengeance. That sounds cool. I'm so excited that you've seen Evelyn thus far.
That's going to be what we call our group, the Wraiths of Righteous Vengeance, for the time being, until we come up with something better.
Should we have a flag too?
Yes, certainly.
I'll work on a design with our faces on it.
Maybe it shouldn't have our faces on it, as we want to remain somewhat mysterious.
Oh, I'll just put masks on our eyes.
Okay, deal. Tessina, you work on masks that we can use in the next few hours.
Okay.
While we descend on Amrick. I'm going back into Kleodna's bounty, and Gareth is going to kind of like make sure the top of his head is nice and shiny, and he's going to like jut out his jaw and like check his teeth. And I will secure the captain's help, and then we shall lie in wait.
That sounds perfect to me. Should we come back in with you?
I don't think that'll be necessary. You all prepare some masks or something. We will need probably a blindfold and a gag or something for this terrible rich douchebag. So you work on that. I'm gonna go flirt with the captain.
Very well.
I've had like
Take care
6
of it.
chilled red wines, so I'm probably good to go.
Roll a constitution check for me, Gareth. Let's just see how you're doing.
Is it a con save or just a check?
Either way.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, you are feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling
And
myself.
toasty.
I'm feeling myself. Why is it so hot in this damned city?
Okay, do you see yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Are the 2 raven imps still there?
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Actually, no, disadvantage because you know where they are. You know where to look for them.
So the first one I rolled is a 7.
Okay. I don't know that they're very hard to see. It is dark, but you see some dark shapes up in the sailless masts above you. So, you have a pretty sinking suspicion that that's likely where they are. But you can't tell for sure. It's not like a seagull plummets to its death right next to you
Okay.
or anything, but you have every reason to believe that that's where they are.
And as I approach, it's gotten much later in the evening, right? Is the Kleodna's bounty more hopping and rocking and rolling?
It is a little bit more hopping, rocking, and rolling. So you see people up on the side decks. So these two here, so the fore and aft of the ship, but you can still go down to where you had seen the captain previously.
Yeah, so I'll go down and... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, roll a perception check for looking around for the captain.
14.
You don't immediately see her on this floor.
I would talk to one of my guard buddies that I've made friends with my money.
Mm-hmm.
My good
Nice.
man. The captain asked to see me.
Oh, sure. Let me just grab her for you really fast. So he goes over to this door. So he just goes kind of around the corner to the door, raps on it, and the captain emerges with her crab, familiar Cornelius crackling crab.
Perfect.
I'm so pleased you've returned.
Yes, I wondered if I could have a moment of your time. Perhaps we could talk in private or in a more quiet place, I say, indicating the rowdiness behind me.
Sure. And so she leads you into this little side room over here, which is coincidentally her quarters, and says, here, you can come into my room. So you see a nice little bed and some dressers. You see lots of sea decorations and things, and it looks like what would be the fantasy equivalent of souvenirs from various ports around Eldura. And the crab kind of settles into his little crab home.
I like that he has a little crab home. Gareth is going to, I think he's going to be bold and like sit on the edge of her bed.
Oh, goodness.
And say,
would you like a drink?
I would, thank you. Captain, my captain. Oh, captain, my captain. I can't stop thinking about you, and I feel like we had a real connection, and I just wanted to come by and see if you felt the same way, and perhaps get to know you better.
Oh, goodness. Gareth, how about you roll a charisma check for me?
Oh, yeah. This is probably persuasion, right?
Yeah, persuasion's fine.
Perfect. A 6.
Oh, no. You choke on your wine a little bit. Are you quite all right?
Sorry, it's been a strange couple of days, and I'm a bit, I don't know what is out of my... I'm 7 sheets to the wind, I suppose I should, I apologize, and I'll stand up and kind of, move over a little bit. As I look around, do I, recognize anything of, like, particular noteworthiness or importance?
Roll a perception check.
Oh my gosh, there's all my bad rolls.
You're getting them out of the way. So this cabin is full of mismatched wooden furniture, including a bed with posts carved to resemble mermaids, a nightstand, a wardrobe, a writing desk with a fur-draped chair, and a small dining table surrounded by 4 plain chairs. Near the foot of the bed rests an ornately carved sea chest sealed with a padlock.
I know we just met, but I came here to ask for a favor.
Oh. Well, sure. What is it that you need? You said you've been having a rough few days. I think that many in the city have found that to be the case lately.
Yes, are you very in touch with what's going on beyond our walls? I know that you are here right at the edge, and you probably can't help but to be affected by what is transpiring all about us.
I think that you have said that quite well. Yes, I am aware of many of the recent misfortunes.
Well, those misfortunes have fallen on my doorstep. You see, those refugees out there are from Beacon, and my son is in Beacon.
Oh no!
I
So have you heard from him? Do you know?
I don't know if I don't know where he is or how he is, but I have discovered that the creature in the bottom of the ship is responsible for a lot of bad things happening to people from Beacon.
Amrick.
I'm afraid so. Listen, I know that you're running a business here, and I know that you have every right to conduct your business in whatever way you see fit. But I'm seeking justice for some people that have been hurt. People have died because of this man, and it's because of some of the things that have transpired right underneath your nose in this very place. And I suppose I came here to ask your aid in righting that injustice.
And what exactly are you asking me to do to right said injustice?
Amrick must be held accountable for what he is.
What are you asking me to do?
I'm asking you to help me bring him to justice by by signaling to us when he leaves Kleodna's bounty.
You and the two women who were here with you before.
Indeed.
And how would you like that signal to come about?
Perhaps when he leaves, you could put a lantern in your window here. And I'll gesture to the window, like in her room.
Okay, sure.
And you need not be connected to us meeting with him.
And do you hold me responsible for what he's been doing?
Can I roll an insight check on her? And I want to try to figure out if she is hiding or concealing a deeper involvement with this whole thing than I had previously understood.
Okay, sure. Roll an insight check.
13.
Okay. You from your insight check, you have noticed she is a little bit more guarded, but she seems more hurt and concerned than she does like she's hiding part in a secret plot to capture people.
I don't see any rings of Braemorn or necklaces of Rekka or anything.
The more you look, you see a lot of mermaid and merman memorabilia around the room. You don't see, there's some nymphs frolicking about, but besides wondrous sea people, you don't see anything pertaining to evil deities.
I step towards her and I take both of her hands and I say, "No, how could you be held responsible for the deeds of one bad man? All you do is
all you do is bring joy and light into whatever space you're in. As you sail the seas of my heart. And
Buck is very excited by that.
So
And
is the crab.
I give her
Well,
a
that's the crab.
I lean in for a kiss. Stop it. Get the bone. Get it. Okay.
She's sailing the seas of your heart. You lean in for a kiss. And are you being relatively not generous? Are you being relatively genuine about what you're saying? Do you need to roll a deception check?
No, I think that Gareth he's had a little bit of wine. It's been a weird day. He's going to kiss a pretty captain and then go beat up a devil worshiper.
Perfect. Okay. She passionately returns your kiss.
Ooh la la.
She kind of, I can put a lantern in the window.
What's one lantern between people who are share such a deep connection? And
But the crab is scared of the dark.
I'd say I give a nod to the crab, and I give her a wink, and I say, "Till we meet again," and I make my exit.
Yay! Okay. Do you have a new captain girlfriend and a crab girlfriend? Or crab boyfriend. So yeah, you make your exit. She's gonna put a lantern in the window. You go back outside of the tavern.
Back outside the tavern, I'm gonna
And very romantic and smooth about yourself.
Oh, always, yeah. I'm gonna make sure that the ladies are ready, and that we have masks to hide our identities. And
Okay.
I think that we're going to... Can I scope out the area around Kleodna's bounty? Like, is there a place where, like, okay, if he goes this direction, then we'll grab him here. Or if he goes the other direction,
Sure.
we'll grab him here.
Yeah, sure. So roll a perception check for your scoping.
Scope check. 18. So
Nice.
bolstered.
So shortly after you leave, yeah, that's why I decided you didn't have to roll with disadvantage because of your flirtatious bolstering. As you leave Kleodna's bounty, you hear it. This hand grabs you and pulls you into an alley beside it. And you see two people in animal masks. Who are just about the size of Evelyn and Tessina. One of them looks really excited. One of them looks irritated.
I think I jump back and...
Gareth, look what we found!
By Vulcan, you about startled me to death. What creature is this supposed to be?
Yours is a lion.
Rawr.
That's the weirdest question sometimes. Lion for you. Mm-hmm.
And what are they?
Tessina is an otter, and Evelyn is a deer. It's kind of a weird animal pack.
Indeed.
So yeah, with your 18 perception check, you're able to scope out the area and find a couple different alleys that you guys could hide in. You find one across the street where you can kind of keep an eye on the captain's window. And then on either side of the ship where it's located, this is a relatively high traffic area, but I think would have reason enough to believe that it's going to be late enough at night when you guys are capturing, or early enough in the morning when you all are capturing Amrick, that it will be, you won't have to worry about too many people being there. And so how stealthy are you trying to be so that the raven imps aren't watching you? Or are you not worried about them so much?
I'm definitely worried about them. I was hoping to get out of Kleodna's bounty without attracting their continued attention. I knew that they were going to scope me on the way in and on the way out.
Right.
but we definitely want to be out of like their direct line of sight.
Okay. Yeah. That's easy enough done. So you guys pick alleys that won't be like, I'm a raven and I'm watching this exact spot. So, yeah.
Perfect. So I think we're just going to kind of lie low and wait for the lantern and then figure out which direction he's going and set up an ambush. I think that we're going to plan on maybe Evelyn. How hardy is Evelyn? Maybe I'll appear in front of him, Evelyn appears behind him, and then Tessina is running interference.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Evelyn is not as hardy as you are, but hardy enough to kind of stand her ground. And she has several spells that she can kind of toss into the mix that will be helpful.
Perfect. So we lie in wait, we wait for the lantern, and then we spring our ambush.
Nice. Oops. Cool. So I think since it's 9:23, I might stop us here, and that way I can make us a map for our ambush attack. Is that okay?
Yes, I was looking forward to bashing Amrick's head in, but I'll just keep looking forward to it throughout the next week.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Or we might be able to do, we can talk about that in a second. If we want to do like a shorter, like kind of pickup session, but I just, I want to be able to draw up a thing for you, and I will need more than just a couple minutes. But it's not the most complicated stat block, but I want to make sure that there's like some space and abilities for things to happen for you. Because you would rightfully assume that Amrick's not going to be fighting you by himself.
He does have that strange dog with him.
And a bodyguard.
Okay, cool. So next time we will ambush Amrick.
We will leave.
Punch him in the head a bunch. And then we will probably try to head up to Eliza Seymour's and see how evil she is. I would like to start working on an evil detection wand. Maybe something I could point at people to detect how evil they are.
Okay. Maybe we could just direct you towards people of ill intent or general crankiness.
Yeah, somebody's having a bad day or something. I just roll up on them. I'm like...
Somebody has a spine devil dog pet.
I'm like, you're probably sketchy. Maybe we should fight about it.
Perfect. Cool. Do you or Gareth have any other questions before we close?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just like super looking forward to next week.
Here, I'm going to get you and Gareth and the audience over here. Sorry, everybody.
Ooh, look at this map. Gosh, adding the green is such a good choice.
It looks so good, right?
Yeah.
And do you like the cobblestones?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like with our tokens, this is still lined up to the grid.
I'm fine with rolling with it. We can figure it out later because like we can still use the measure thing to like tell how far.
So we can kind of figure out how far.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of snap us to.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab everybody then. And the low lantern.
I've been itching for some combat, so I'm excited.
I know, baby. While I get us all the rest of the way set up, Gareth, why don't you recount some epic combats that you've been involved in the past?
Some of Gareth's epic combats?
Is this a thing that he's experienced before?
I don't think that Gareth has had much conflict in his life. I think that he has been conflict adjacent for all of his life. I mean, how could you not be living in the mean, war-torn world of Eldura, but I don't know that he's personally done a lot of throwing down. I think that it's been a relatively new thing for him. He's trained for it. He knows it. He, having been involved in the Army of Light somewhat until that training accident, he was relatively prepared for doing combat, but I don't think it's something that he's done a lot of, really.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of training accident did you have, Gareth?
Oh my goodness. It was a terrible thing that we still can't talk about. I think that, I don't know. I want to figure that out better and have a better answer, because I feel like it's one of those things that has been like super formative for him, and I think that there's some like complicated feelings that he still has about what happened, and I want to make sure that I know exactly what that looks like.
Yeah. Audience, DM, back to you, audience. Gareth's connection to the Army of Light is really important for kind of what's going on in the world. So just me to you. We'll just hold on to that. So Gareth, really quickly, while Buck calms down, I'm sorry, there are people outside, and I said one of his favorite words.
It's a disaster.
And that's a disaster. Baby, will you recount for us the plan? And then do you want to kind of glance around the map and pick out a spot for you guys to be waiting?
Yes. So Gareth and Tessina...
The ship is kind of in the northeast corner of our map. And because of how the map has been created, you are positive that they're going to be coming south.
Perfect. It's good to know. But I don't know like which path necessarily they'll take to go south, right? I would have no way of knowing that, right?
Right. And I think you don't know for sure that they're going south, so you would want to be able to see them kind of, but I will go ahead and tell you that for sure they're coming from. We're going to stay on the map for at least most of it.
Perfect. I think in that case that Gareth is going to position himself in such a way that he is going to be out here. Maybe he's like leaning against this corner. And then I think that Evelyn and Tessina are like maybe... Ooh, wait, here. Gareth is going to be around this corner. And Evelyn and Tessina are going to... I think Tessina is going to be here. And Evelyn is going to be here. And then the plan is that when they come down, Gareth is going to be the one to like step out and engage with them. And then Evelyn is going to... Maybe I'll swap them. And then Evelyn is going to kind of like take the rear and make sure nobody gets away while Tessina throws spells from afar.
Cool. And are you Gareth and Tessina ready?
Yes.
Everybody's full rested and everything?
Ready to go.
Ready to go. So, Gareth, you have worked out a plan with the lovely captain of Kleodna's Bounty, the tavern, you're just behind me crying. I don't know if you can see his tail or not. You guys have worked out a plan where she, as Amrick is leaving, will put a lantern in her window, and that will signal to you that he is on his way out of the tavern.
So I think we'll be in position, and Evelyn will be on the lookout for the lantern, and then when she sees it, she'll come over and like signal to Gareth, who will signal to Tessina or something, you know? Like, it's go time.
Awesome. Yeah. So you guys have made your plan. You left the Elfsong Tavern and everything. We're going to fast forward just a little bit. We are in the wee hours of the morning as Amrick, his dinosaur dog, and his thug bodyguard come kind of stumbling out of Avernus Bounty. So Evelyn sees the light. She comes. Is this the right spot for her? Over here?
Yeah.
To tell you. Okay.
Do we need to roll initiative?
Yes. I was going to get... Let me see. I want to double check one thing. Okay. Yes. Let's roll initiative. Let me get my people pulled up. Will you go ahead and roll for yourself and Tessina? Do I need to do the add turn thing first?
I am not sure. But Gareth rolled terrible initiative, so that checks out.
Poor little buddy. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Add turn Gareth. Oh, I need my little block. That's it. Where is it? I'm so sorry. I just had it.
On D&D Beyond?
Do the thing of... here it is. Okay, Gareth, I've got yours is a 4, is that right?
Yes.
And then if you will roll for Tessina.
So Tessina rolled a 15.
Okay, let me get her in the thing. Add turn. Tessina, 15. I'm going to roll for Evelyn. Got a 7. Where did she go? Here she is. Evelyn, 7. What did I say that Tessina got? Oh, you said Tessina got a 15?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it changed her to a 7. Okay. Tessina has her 15. Cool. And let me get our little friends in the order. I have to move them a little so I can see the top of the thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sorry, everybody. And honey, if you give me one more second. Is there anything else cool that you want to tell us about Gareth?
Mostly I think Gareth, I've been saying that he's like wielding a mace, but I think he's got like kind of a big blacksmith's hammer.
Ooh.
Maybe rounded on one side and like flat on the other. And it's probably got some, like in the head of the hammer, it's got a sign of Vulcan kind of etched into it. And I think it was an early gift from Melina, his long deceased wife.
Oh. How long has she been deceased?
She's been gone from us these 8 years.
Eight years.
Is that too long?
That's forever. No, that's just longer than I thought it was. It's totally fine.
I think 5 years.
Okay. That's kind of how long I had thought that it was. So, when we enter the initiative order, which, Gareth, I am assuming that will be kind of when you initiate things, our order will be the dog, Amrick, Tessina, you, and then Evelyn, and then Amrick's bodyguard.
Cool. We're hoping for a surprise round if we can remain hidden and spring our trap the way we want to.
Sure. Is this like a stealth springing of the trap, or more of like you guys set you established a rapport with them before, and so...
Well, we are wearing crazy animal masks, so I think this is going to be more of a surprise.
I forgot about the animal mask. Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, please.
I rolled an 11.
Evelyn rolled a 9.
Or
Or
really
Tessina do.
stealthy. So Tessina rolled a 10.
Okay. Cool.
It's really
Let
middle
me
of the pack.
see. Let me see how they. Okay. You guys are okay. Well, you don't know that. I'm telling you that you guys are okay. Amrick didn't roll well either. Abe and Buddy okay too.
As they come, can I peek around the corner and see how Amrick is like carrying himself, or like are they staggering? Are they singing, or what are they doing?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Gareth.
21.
With your perception check, you are able to see that Amrick is kind of stumbling, and he has his arm draped over the shoulder of one of the bodyguards that you saw in the tavern earlier. And this is one who you were pretty sure that this one, he was wearing different clothes than the other bodyguards who work at the tavern. So you assumed that he was working with Amrick.
Cool.
And then so they're kind of, I'm going to pull them out onto the street. They're kind of stumbling onto the street, and the dog thing is strutting behind them, kind of checking over its shoulder.
Cool. So I'm gonna wait until they get to like here, and then Gareth is going to appear. And simultaneously as Gareth appears, Evelyn will also appear.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull them down. They all rolled really terrible perception checks. So...
one last question. Are there other people around, or not so much?
It's really early in the morning. You hear inside, everything that you're nearby, most of these little buildings are taverns. So there's this kind of L-shaped building where Tessina has been waiting outside of the ship. Evelyn's waiting outside of a more subdued tavern. And so there are a few people in most of the buildings, but it's kind of slim pickings at the moment. There aren't very many people who are involved or who are out this late at night.
Cool.
And so, I mean, Respite is a really large city. There are going to be a few, but it's not a huge number.
Cool. Okay. So, do we have a surprise round? Does Gareth get to go first, or who gets to do what?
We do have a surprise round. If you want Tessina to go before Gareth, you can. But for your surprise round, I'm fine with the three of you going in whichever order you want.
Okay. I think Tessina is going to slide. Let's see. I lied about having Tessina pulled up.
Okay.
1 second. Evelyn's going to slide around, and Gareth is going to slide out a little bit. And Gareth is going to be drawing as much attention to himself as possible.
Cool.
And I think that Tessina is going to hold a Toll the Dead for as soon as someone gets hurt.
Okay.
And as soon as an enemy gets hurt, she's going to Toll the Dead. And
Okay.
I think that, let's see, Tessina, Gareth is going to step out and say,
"Time for a reckoning, criminal."
Ooh.
And he's going to bonus action drop his... He's going to like point at the sky and like draw down real fast, and behind, I think in melee with the three of them in this square here, all of a sudden a hammer, a flaming hammer shows up.
Ooh. Okay.
And
Awesome.
let's see, spiritual weapon is a bonus action within range lasts a duration. When I cast the spell, I can make a melee spell attack against a creature within range. So,
which of them are you attacking?
I'm going to attack. Oh, I didn't realize that I'd already rolled that.
It's okay. You think you clicked spiritual weapon and it appeared. If you didn't roll it on purpose, you can roll again.
I think I'm going to attack Amrick.
Okay.
Let's see how his AC is.
His.
Ooh.
Ooh. Did you roll? What'd you roll, honey?
Let's count that one.
Okay, do you want to tell me? In case somebody's
I
not
rolled
watching?
a 24.
Does green mean it was a nat 20?
Yes.
Are you usually more excited?
Oh, nat 20!
That matters for spell attacks. Okay. And so, what was the 8 plus crit 2?
So this rolled a 6.
And a 2?
And I don't know, it says rolling 1d8 plus 2. Is the plus 2 from my spell casting modifier for the damage?
It shouldn't be. I think that's what it's doing. That's not how that's not correct. I don't actually, what does it say in spiritual weapon? Does it say to add something to the damage? It's been so long since I played Riley.
Let's see. You create a floating spiritual weapon 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. So I did 6 plus 2, but it was like 12 plus 2, right?
It should be 12 plus 2.
14 points of damage.
So 14 points of damage.
With a bonus action.
To Amrick?
Yeah, to Amrick.
Nice. He kind of cries out like, "Oh!" You see him stumble forward a little bit.
And so that would trigger Tessina's held Toll the Dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Amrick needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. He rolled a 7.
Okay, so he fails. And he takes 2 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Still.
It's a good opening round. How's Amrick look?
That's a good opening. He doesn't look great. He's pretty hardy. So it's gonna take a little bit more than that. Sorry, that bug is back. That was your Gareth, that was your bonus action, correct?
Yes, and with my action, I think with my action I can like run up and can I smack him with my hammer?
Sure.
I like having spiritual weapon.
I smack it with the hammer.
So I'm gonna run up and draw lots of attention to myself and get in melee, and I'm going to smack him on the side of the head with a hammer.
Awesome. Roll an attack.
Here we go. Yeah! I rolled an 11 to hit, which is terrible.
It does not hit, I'm sorry.
So I run up and I whiff. I think there's a lot of magical flashing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
I think that like he's kind of grabbing his head and stumbling from Tessina's Toll the Dead, and that kind of messes up, where you thought he was going to be. And you're in an animal mask.
And like probably visibility isn't great in my animal mask.
Yeah.
This lion head is sweaty.
Okay, Evelyn is going to use one of her wild shapes to summon her Firefox spirit.
What?
I'm so excited. So, sorry, I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Because this is a new druid subclass for me. So the Wildfire Spirit shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. And it can only dodge unless she uses her bonus action to dodge, dash, disengage, help, or hide. So let's see. Here, and each willing creature of your choice within 5 feet of it teleport up to 30 feet to unoccupied spaces you can see. Each creature within 10 feet of the space of the spirit left must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 plus 2 fire damage. So I think that Evelyn is going to add her fire spirit. Like just outside of... Sorry, I want to make sure I get the right color. We're just going to hit the 3 of them, but not you, Gareth. So Gareth, you see this, and is that far enough, you think?
We can measure it.
Okay, will you measure it for me?
I don't know what the range is.
Oh, sorry, it's 10 feet.
So yeah, that'll get everybody except for Gareth.
Okay,
and
so Evelyn's little fire spirit roars to life and leaps from standing beside her ahead to kind of appear right behind your spiritual weapon. And Gareth, you see this like little fox with pokey ears who looks like it's on fire.
How frightening.
And Evelyn's just kind of smiling in the background. And like the orange glow against her like super bronzy skin is like really exciting.
Get the pyro kind of thing going.
Yeah. What? No. Okay, they all need to make a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 plus 2 fire damage. Ba ba ba. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to be like such a slow turn. Okay. Amrick fails. Sorry, I almost said what it is. Dog succeeds. Oh my gosh, and the other guy fails. So they each take 1d6. They each take 6 points of fire damage.
That
You guys
Spine
have
Devil.
a killer.
Yeah, but that Spine Devil is probably resistant, isn't it?
It doesn't matter because it sorry, it gets to roll with advantage against spells and magical effects.
But
1d6 plus 2. I don't know if you would even take it otherwise. Yes. Devil Sight, Flyby, Limited Spines, Magic Resistance. Oh, sorry, condition, damage immunities, fire, poison. You're right.
I was worried about that with Evelyn.
You were worried about like going to hell and like most of her spells having to do with fire.
Wait. Are we going to hell?
I thought you were talking to me outside of our game.
No, I'm kidding.
We should be careful to be really sweet to DMs while they're running combat.
Yes, probably.
Okay, are you ready to enter initiative order?
Initiative order time.
Okay, this dinosaur dog thing. Gareth, roll an intelligence check for me.
I would love to roll an intelligence check for you. Intelligence, here we go. Wacha! 18.
Perfect. Gareth, this spine devil whips to life and whips around you.
No.
I think it's like wings spread up from its side and it kind of lands. It's behind you, but like slightly off of the ground. And it is going to make 2 attacks against you. It's going to bite at you and stab you with its fork.
With advantage.
I think it'd be called like a spear with advantage. Does a 12 hit?
No, I whip around and bash the fork aside with my shield.
Right, so it bites at you first, you bash its
I
mouth
bash
away.
its stupid
with your
head
shield.
with my shield.
Does a 21 hit?
Just barely.
It stabs you in the neck
Ah!
with its fork as it gets battered away. So it kind of pokes out at you as it flies back. You take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay. It is now Amrick's turn. He is a little bit surprised, to say the least. And all of a sudden, the area around you darkens. Oh no, my headphones are dying. What a disaster. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. Black smoke kind of covers the area really fast, and is heavily obscured.
Does it get everybody? Should I draw a shape around it?
Yeah, so right around Amrick, will you draw a shape for me?
How big is the shape?
It's 10. Let's see. Sorry, I accidentally moved the map when I didn't mean to. 10-foot radius sphere. Perfect. Thank you. So I'm trying to figure out how to get to the...
I gotta get some smoke bombs.
Gareth, roll a perception check with disadvantage, and let's see if you notice Amrick's disappearance through the smoke bomb.
7.
Okay. You don't really see anything.
Okay. I think my
Smoke
7
bomb.
and my nat 20.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Tessina's turn.
Does Tessina see Amrick bust out of the smoke?
Yeah, she should be able to. Do you want to roll a perception check for her? It is dark. I mean, it's nighttime, and she's a little bit far away.
14?
Yeah, that's enough. Please, I'm sorry. I'm going to make him visible again since you're Tessina, too. Just don't tell Gareth.
I won't tell Gareth anything. Oh,
Okay.
snap.
So Amrick ran to the right. He ran east. And he's trying to kind of disappear over here to the side.
What a weasel. Okay,
And he doesn't want the reckoning to happen.
Let me grab Witch Bolt real fast to make sure I know what that does.
Okay.
Witch Bolt! So, Amrick is out of range for that, isn't he? Yeah,
Can't
she's
she
gonna
move?
move. So she's gonna move 30 feet to there. Oops.
Perfect.
Ah. And oh gosh.
He should be within range from there.
Okay. And she is going to say, she's gonna cry. Oh, you do her voice, but she's gonna.
What is she saying?
She's gonna cry out, halt, villain!
Oh, it's the villain.
Perfect. And she's
that
gonna make
okay?
a spell attack.
Yeah.
Come on. 5 plus
Plus,
her.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think.
5 plus 5 is 10. So
She just misses. She ignites. Gareth, a tree is struck suddenly by lightning to your right. This tree to the right.
perfect. What a bummer. Okay, so she's going to use her bonus action to do something, which is going to be, oh gosh, my nighttime flux thing just decided to turn off. And now it's just flickering between taking out blue light and not taking out blue light.
Why?
I don't know.
I know, like, why you don't know why it's flickering. Do you need a second to turn it off?
No, I don't know. So she's gonna use her bonus action to. Oh god. Where bonus action heal? Isn't it? Are any of us hurt? I'm hurt a little bit.
No, and she can't do healing word right now because she just cast a spell.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, is
thank you.
Witch Bolt a cantrip? No, it's
No.
not.
Okay, that ends her turn.
Although I will say Witch Bolt is concentration.
It didn't
she can
take
keep-
effect.
Ah, got you. Okay.
So that ends Tessina's turn.
So that ends Tessina's turn. Gareth, it is now your turn.
Do I, like, with this shot of lightning and her saying stop, do I see Amrick or no?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. 20.
20. So yes, you see Amrick to the right. You see this man kind of cowering behind a tree.
What a weasel. I'm going to do what I should have done in the beginning. Ooh.
Oops.
I forgot about my bonus action abilities. Wait, this is my first time having it, right? So as a bonus action, I can make an attack with my spiritual weapon.
You need to move it. How far does it move on your turn? 30 feet.
As a bonus action on your turn, I can move it up 20 feet and repeat the attack. Is he more than 20 feet? He's 35. Okay. Can I make the attack on the bandit guy
Sure.
as a bonus action?
Yes.
Perfect. I'd like to do that.
Okay.
So let me make a spell attack. I rolled terrible, so 4 plus whatever my thing is probably not going to hit this guy.
I don't think that's
It
enough to
just
hit.
swings in the darkness. That's my bonus action. I'm maintaining concentration on that, but I
Is
think
your thing to hit 7?
Sorry?
You get plus 7?
No,
Any chance?
I'm sure not.
Okay. And no, it doesn't hit. Okay, bonus action. What do you want to do for your action?
On my action, can I cast a spell?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not like spending the spell on that one. I'm just using my bonus action
Right.
to control it. Okay,
Right.
cool.
For a thing you've already done. Mm-hmm.
I haven't played a cleric before, so I'm excited to learn this
Me
stuff.
too,
So
honey.
I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at Amrick and I'm going to say, come here,
Ooh.
and I'm going to cast command.
Cool. Okay. What does Amrick need to do?
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw, or follow the command.
15?
15. I think my wisdom save is terrible right now. Isn't it like 12?
Probably. Poor Gareth.
Wisdom.
It's hard to be a level 3.
12. Save DC. How terrible.
I'm sorry. Okay. So it almost takes effect, but you think that the cowardice and alarm that you have inspired kicks in harder, and he continues to cower by the tree.
I'm going to use my movement to rotate around this spine devil.
Okay.
And
Easy enough.
wait, that's 10. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get in melee with Amrick, provoking an attack of opportunity from the spine devil.
Okay, it does appreciate that. So it's going to lash out at you with its... It's going to try to poke you with its fork again, since that worked before.
Do it.
Does an 18 hit?
Nope.
Okay. You block it with your shield?
Yep.
Nice. So you hear a... Woo! We'll let Buck be the spine devil for now. So a plaintive howl from this dog dinosaur devil.
He's just sitting in the
creature.
doorway winking at me. We have one chill dog who wants to sleep, and one dog that just wants to cry and scream.
We
Cool.
want to keep things fresh and exciting. All right, Gareth, is that the end of your turn?
That is. And
Awesome.
I'd also like to say to Amrick,
Submit and things will be easier for you.
Ooh. Roll an intimidation check.
a 9.
Okay. Okay. So N is going to use her bonus action. I think. Let me see. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this Wildfire Spirit, but I'm really excited about it. Cool. Yeah, she's going to tell it to use its flame seed. So it's gonna she's gonna get it to move over, and it's going to throw a little ball of fire at Amrick. Which button do I hit to figure out how far away something is?
There's like a ruler dipped in a paint can. So if you click that and then click and drag, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you. So we're gonna move the Wildfire Spirit. I think that's its movement. Where did it go? Wildfire Spirit? I'm assuming it can move. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. So, it is going to make a ranged weapon attack. We rolled the damage. How did I get it to make the attack? I'm clicking. I'm so sorry. I know this is boring. It's just telling me the fire damage.
Right. So I don't know if it's programmed to do that, or if it is it a save that he has to make?
It should be just a ranged spell attack. So.
And if it's ranged, then she doesn't need to run up there, right?
She didn't move. She moved. It needed to get within 30 feet. Weapon attack. Oh, I'm just gonna make a ranged weapon attack then. By itself, you think? I'm sorry. I know this is really boring. I thought I had this. I don't got it. Okay. We're going to use something else that is a ranged weapon attack.
Or just a d20 and add...
17!
Perfect.
Does it show up for you?
Uh-huh.
Can you see them?
Well, I see the 17.
So we rolled a 17, and the damage is a d6 plus 2. Oh my gosh. 6 fire damage. Well, that was super involved. Yay!
How's Amrick looking?
Evelyn has appeared behind the corner from you. Amrick looks rough. But it is the thug's turn. he is going to kind of roar and come stumbling out of the fog cloud. Let me roll a perception check for him really fast just to figure out if he kind of gets what's going on or not. He does. So Gareth, this large man comes rumbling out of the cloud.
I like to think about the smoke like billowing off his armor, like. Roar.
Yeah. And he swings at you with this like spiked club that he has. Does a 15 hit?
Please. I parry his spiked club with my hammer of Vulcan and dig it into the ground.
Nice.
And I look at him and I say, "One should find better masters."
Ooh. Okay. Is the Spine Devil's turn. He is going to chuck a tail spine at you, Gareth. Does a 20 hit?
A 20 does hit.
Okay, Gareth, from out of nowhere, your little purple friend, boom, throws a a spine from its tail at you and does 8 points of piercing damage.
8. Oof.
Wait, that's not. Yeah, 8 points of piercing damage. How are you looking?
I look rough.
Oh no. Okay. Amrick. Let me just roll. So you've been roll one more intimidation check for me.
I'm not doing anything intimidating. Do you want me to?
You're attacking him.
18.
This was okay. So Amrick kind of like throws his hands up and says, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" So for a moment, and then what do you do, Gareth?
I think it would depend on the people that are attacking me, but I
attacking you, kind of pulls his weapon back. I mean, he like picks it up from where you had smashed it into the ground, but he is, it seems to be holding on for his attack. And the Spine Devil is just kind of flapping where it is. It flies a little closer, but...
Is it his turn or my turn?
It is his turn. He asks you to stop. And he is going to hold... He's going to hold an action. It is Tessina's turn, and then, Gareth, it'll be your turn after that.
I think Tessina's likewise going to hold an action. She's going to hold another Toll the Dead on Amrick.
Okay.
Has this guy been hurt?
Yes.
Okay. She might hold a Toll the Dead on him.
Okay.
For sure. If combat re-erupts.
Okay.
And I think that, is there a place, or is there... I think that she's...
What are you looking for?
I don't know, I was thinking about, like, if there's any cover or anything, like, if there's any defensive play. Okay, she might, and then from here...
Yeah, she can just kind of run down the street.
Yeah, she's going to
move
behind
that cart.
Kind of behind this cart. And she's going to hold
okay.
That Toll the Dead. And Amrick is looking...
And honey, really fast, did you move your weapon or did you leave it where it was?
I kept it where it was and made an attack against Dude, but it missed.
You didn't move it as a bonus action.
I can move it and attack, but I can't like I can move it to attack, you know, like it can like go flying through the air at somebody, but I can use it as a bonus action on my next turn, but I didn't move it.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Asked a question about Amrick.
And Amrick looks rough.
Yeah.
This is probably the wrong move, but I'm going to knock Amrick out.
Okay.
So I'm going to make... He's saying stop, stop, stop. I'm going to say... I'm going to say something awesome like...
You should have before you killed those people. Quack!
Ooh, okay. Roll your attack.
18.
That hit.
And 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Does that trigger Tessina's held action?
Yes.
Okay.
So Amrick needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Or is it Valtis?
I'm sorry?
Who did she hold it on? Was it the guard or Amrick?
Ooh, I think that the last thing that I said was the guard, so maybe he needs to make a
Is
wisdom
that what you want to have happen? Okay.
I'm trying to knock out Amrick, but if... I think the guard should.
Okay. You rolled a 2.
Sweet. So he is going to burst into witchy purple-green flames from whatever previous wounds he has and take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
And I'd like to...
Gareth, the large man behind you, cries out in pain. He also looks rough.
And if possible, if it's still my turn, I would like to do the spiritual weapon and move it 20 feet to this guy and make a spell attack on him.
Sure.
So D20, 12 plus spell attack modifier is plus
It
4,
hits.
16.
Nice, that hits. And AC is pretty low.
I think that's 8 points of... Sorry, not that he takes 8 points, but a 1d8. Oh, it's a 1d8 plus 2. So 7 points of damage on him.
Did you add the 2 points?
It did not, so 9 points. Dang.
It's weird that it doesn't... Yeah, because you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 points of damage. Oh, this guy looks really bad. Amrick now gets to use his held action for if you did not surrender, which are dagger attacks against you.
Bring it.
Gareth.
Bring it.
And I'm trying to see. Let's see. He does not have advantage because so his first slash is an 11.
Nope.
His second is a 10.
Nope.
His third is a 25.
25 hits.
Okay, so Gareth, you take 7 points of piercing damage from the manic slashing happening in front of you.
Perfect. Okay.
And can you... Sorry. My headphones are dying, like, all the way, I think. Can you still hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Will you say one more thing?
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Can we pause for just a second?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
One moment. We'll be right back with more Tales of Eldura. thank you all for tuning in and checking out the stream and adventuring with us in the Tales of Eldura. And we are so grateful to your support and for the support of our patrons over patreon.com/GroveGuardianPress, making our video content possible and pleasurable to create. And we also would love for you to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and or follow us on Twitch.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you all.